Welcome back to another episode of Cascade Valley as we take on Illinois this week. Now, Illinois is technically a better team, but we have had our fair share of issues right now. We have a better record, but our quarterback situation is doo-doo. Luckily, we got Tugboat Jackson, who has been killing it each and every week, and we're hoping that he does that again because we have some recruits visiting. Now, we have a lot of guys that we're looking at to just try to lock in the season because our roster needs an overhaul. But one of the most important ones is going to be Forrest Lemon. Now, he's hopefully not a lemon like his last name says, but this guy could be a game changer for us. 90 throw power, 83 speed, 87 acceleration. Those are solid and in the right area that I want. The most important stuff here is 87 short, 86 medium, 83 deep accuracy. This is what I need. He's pretty much on par or better throwing than both of the quarterbacks on our roster right now. We need him right now. And joining him this week would be John Corker, an athlete who is more likely going to be a wide receiver at 6'1", tight end George North, and left tackle Jeff Brink. We need to win this game, and we need to win big so that we can land Forrest Lemon and no one else, or everyone else. Forrest, though, interestingly enough, doesn't have anyone else that's recruited him. We found him, and they haven't found him yet, so we need to speed up his recruiting process ASAP. Picking up here in our first drive at Cascade Valley and seeing what we got is Tugboat's going to go for about 4 yards. And if you're noticing, yes, Lamar Harmon is still the quarterback of Cascade Valley. For now, he's got a short leash. Coach McMervin could pull this man at any moment, but he says, you know what? I'm taking a shot. If Coach McMervin says he might pull me, I'm getting it to Fiercely, and Fiercely's going to go down to the 6-yard line. You saw the recruits visiting this week. This is a massive week for CVU. They have got to get something positive here, and a win by that. The run game hasn't looked super great so far, but through the air, this team's looking solid. Harmon throws one in the dirt. A little third and goal action here. Another one in the dirt, and that stalls out the drive. Chipnick's not exactly 100% reliable from this side of the field on the hash mark, but here he's going to drill it. 3-0 Cascade Valley. Illinois picking up on a 3rd and 9. Center the running back in motion so we know it's a pass play. They're going deep. They're trying to do like Fiercely did. And they're not, because Nichols is going to pick that one off. What a play by CVU. As good as our team did, we find ourselves here in a 3rd and short. And what a hit by Seco. So Illinois is going to line up here for a field goal a little bit more straight on than what Chip Nix had. This one is up. This one's good. It's got plenty of distance. We got a 3-3 game. The Coyotes get back out on the field, and we know this is an important game, the most important game we've had all season long. And Harmon's got to do a better job of throwing passes than that right there. That could have been so many more yards. 8 yards there. We go 2nd and short. Nice little dump off here. Tugboat Jackson, so much room in front of him, and he's going to take a couple bodies with him. Harmon trying to get in a nice flow here. Got a chance, throws one, and terrible decision, but it almost worked out. Mike Hemphill trying to rise up and make that. Again, he's playing both ways this year. And we haven't exactly seen the fruits of that, experiment pay off at this point, but we got faith. Ryden is going to come into the game to spell Tugboat, and we just watched our center run right by the man he's supposed to block. Tugboat back in the game now. Harmon doesn't like what he's seen. Is going to roll and safely get rid of it. 3rd and 9. The boys are trying to figure something out. Fiercely, the spin move, the moves, and he's taking it down inside the 10. Harmon's taking some risks, had some throws that maybe didn't pan out, but we like what we're seeing from him so far. But Tugboat says, do you like what you're seeing from me in the end zone? That's going to give Cascade Valley a 10-3 lead early on. October is here. We've got the NFL in full swing. We have the NBA right around the corner. I cannot wait for the NBA. And Underdog is hooking you up with a great promo as long as you use code GGB when you sign up. Now, what's crazy about the promo is that even if you lose, they're going to hook you up still. All you got to do is play $5, and they will give you $100 in bonus funds. Win or lose, they got you. And in Boosttober, aka October, they have a lot of different promos. You can get easy picks to make it even easier for you to win. Now, when you're doing the picks, just pick higher or lower on 2 or more player stats that you think have a chance to maybe do something, and you can win real money. They're in over 30 different states like Missouri, Georgia, and Texas. And again, if you use code GGB and play just $5, $100 in bonus funds. Come on now, that's insane. Back to the video. Illinois here, another big 3rd and 7. Their quarterback, a lot of time here. He's gonna throw one, and he miscommunicates, and that goes nowhere. Back on offense, Harmon just trying to get this offense just moving down the field like they did last drive. Coach McMervin has learned a lot since coaching at CVU, and one of those things is just making sure he's establishing the run non-stop. When you got a big back, let him run. But at the same time, if your guys are not cooking on the ground, don't force it. Just find something through the air. And when you got a man like Mark Fiercely, just know ankles are getting broken. Harmon feeling great right now, looking much better. Maybe getting benched is what needed to happen for him. And so close to getting a strike. We saw the vision in the play. He had Dakota James streaking across the middle half of that field. Couldn't quite get it to him. Just he can't get that one to Tim Tyndall either. And if you're Forrest Lemon, the recruit coming to visit this week, you got to imagine he's probably looking at some of these throws and saying, I could make that. I think I could make that one too. And we hope he can at Cascade Valley. A couple of incompletions, but a beautiful strike there to Fiercely to keep this drive moving, as Tugboat can't really find the running room he needs. Last run didn't work, and we go right back to it to see the same result. 3rd and 8. Harmon doesn't need to get into the end zone, but he would like to be kind of close, and he's been hit a lot on these rollouts. So rather than risk anything crazy, we're going to go ahead and let Chip Nix see if he can hit his 2nd field goal of the game, and he does just that. Our lead is back to double digits. 2nd quarter, winding down. First half has been a good one so far. Harmon with his feet set, a dot to Dakota James. When Dakota James leaves this team, we're going to be upset. This dude has been so good throughout his career, and he just has some of the most reliable hands on the team. And while some guys like Amir Shakur have left us, Dakota James feels like he's here for the entirety of his career. We respect that. We don't respect that throw into the defense. And instead of getting a couple extra points on top, we are going to go into halftime probably with a 3-point lead. Illinois has found themselves in field goal range with 1 timeout and 8 seconds left in this first half. No, we want to keep him in bounds. So we mess up a little bit there. The interception by Harmon doesn't help us, and they've got a chance to tie this game up going into halftime. The field goal is up. That one is down the middle. Their kicker is on point. And we've got a close one going into halftime. Here in the second half, tie ball game. We're trying to go to work, but it's hard to get it to work if the run game's like that. Coach McMervin, though, in practice was seeing Tugboat a lot more at the QB position in the Wildcat. And we're going to see what happens when these two guys get on the field at the same time. That was probably our best run of the game. 3rd and 3, though. We're trying not to have our kicker come back on the field for a field goal. We wanted to be an extra point, if anything. Tugboat finally gets free, and Tugboat is going to get lit up at the 5. But after so many runs for so little yards, Tugboat finally is able to spring one free. And this time, he's going to try to get in the end zone for the 2nd time today, and he's just short. From the 1 on 2nd and goal. Can Tugboat get his 2nd touchdown of the game? If he gets the blocks, he can, and Tugboat's in there. Cascade Valley gets the touchdown they need. Can the defense keep locking up? Illinois is back out here getting the ball back after we couldn't really do anything on offense, but so far on defense, we're struggling a little bit too. Good hit, though, by Rose. It looks like a new QB is actually in on the previous play in now for Illinois. I'm not sure if it's exactly due to injury or what else, but we're sending the blitz at him. Crucial 3rd and 6. What does this QB have? A big sack, his mother's favorite play, and he goes down as Stephen Harper gets him. Back with the ball, the chance to go up 2 scores. Tugboat is going to have to be the big reason why, and that's another great run by him. 2 touchdowns on the day. We're going to try to get that man in the end zone again, but this time it's Talley who's going to make a juke move that almost does something. A little heavy in the box here. We're going to take advantage of that and get that ball to Dakota James, who gets almost a 5. 3rd down, short yardage situation. We're going to try to hit our target, and we do. Tim Tyndall, big fella, gets lit up close to the 40. Harmon is being mostly efficient, but the interception today is really the only blemish he's had. Still no sign of him getting his guys into the end zone, and it's not happening there either. 3rd quarter, finally winding down. Harmon's just holding on to the rock too long. 3rd and 10, it feels like we're getting stalled out almost every drive. Tyndall, back-to-back catches on this drive. You can really tell how much respect Illinois has put on stopping Tugboat because they have guys in the box every single play. And as much as Coach McMervin just wants to, maybe throw the football when they're doing that, he doesn't really have the guys to make that happen. As Harmon, though, showing off the speed, doesn't do that a lot, and the man can't slide. He fumbles, and luckily we recover it. Coach McMervin already had his brass knuckles out of his pants and on his knuckles when Harmon fumbled because he don't play with fumbling on this team. 2nd and 11. The blitz is real, and that's nearly picked off. Both the quarterback and the running back a little beat up on this drive. Tugboat gonna lose 2 yards. We're gonna rely on Chip Nix here. Nix is not known for having great leg strength. 9-mile-an-hour winds in his face. It's gonna be a little sus here. This one, though, is gonna be up and good. The lead extends a little bit, thankfully, thanks to Chip Nix. Illinois doesn't have to score on this drive, but they got to do something sooner rather than later. 10-point game. Backup QB in there. We're sending a blitz at him. We almost get there, but he throws the ball perfectly. At first glance, I thought it maybe was a missed throw, maybe overthrow, but it was right to the guy he intended it to go to. Little jet touch pass. They try to get to the edge, but Cameron Rose is all over it. 2nd and 7 here for Illinois. Their quarterback, though, nowhere to go as Mario Ortiz brings him down. Crowd getting a little hype up here. They're going deep. Hemphill's there, and Hemphill's going to make the pass break up. People might be saying that maybe Mike Hempill should have just focused on one side of the ball. Maybe the offensive side is an experiment that's not ultimately working. But what's not working is our pass coverage until it is there. Ortiz gets hurt. It feels like every game this happens, but what a breakup on that hit. Cameron Rose with the big hitting capability. That is why that play got messed up there. Huge moment by him. Mario Ortiz has bruised ribs. We're going to have Cordavius Royer come in unless Mario can get healthy again. Tugboat getting a little tired out there. We're trying to make sure that he's healthy. We're also trying to chew this clock and run this football, and Tugboat gets us another first down. 13 yards away from 100 for Jackson. Great block there, but you can see his speed is kind of hampered. Testing what Illinois got here. Another run, and they seem psychic almost. On the 3rd down and 6, we're coming out here with the passing play. If we can get a first down, it goes a long way. Illinois has used 2 of their timeouts. We go out here to the side, and Fiercely's going to drop that one, which makes it even worse. So a 10-point game is going to turn into a 13-point one. Assuming we can make this field goal. Chip Nix has had himself a ball game today, hitting multiple field goals to give us now a 26-10 lead. Correction, 26-13 lead. But here we are. Backup QB in the game again for Illinois. Maybe that's made a difference. Maybe if their starter was in, this game would have went a little bit different, but our defense has been putting pressure on it. Roderick Jr. getting the crowd hyped up, knowing this is the drive that can finish this game off. As long as the defense steps in, that ball is thrown late. Coach McMervin gets a much-needed victory today, 32-13. A little bit of a blowout victory, which should help. Those recruits feel a lot better at what we did. Tugboat gets 106 on 29 attempts and 2 touchdowns. They don't call him Tugboat for no reason. That man can carry a lot. Recapping the stats, Harmon goes for 282, has the interception, but it was a pretty solid game. Just holding on to the ball a little bit longer. He's got to use his legs some, but for what he can do, this is okay. Tugboat, you saw his stats. He was crucial. We see Mevis get in the game for a garbage time touchdown. The freshman contact seeker, he's out there. And then in the receiving game, Fiercely 5 for 45, 65 of those coming on that very first catch he had early in the game. Has a drop or 2, but we spread the ball around as much as we could. And on defense, we had a lot of guys here with 5 total tackles. Roderick, Rose, and Garland all getting 5 today. We also see from a sack perspective, 1 by Stephon Harper, half a sack by Kobe Garland, and Mario Ortiz getting involved there. We thought Mario maybe had a full sack, but it is what it is. And then Nichols and Gaither both get an interception today, helping this defense really lock in and get a much-needed victory. And after the game, there's a lot that we wanted to see. We were hoping Forrest Lemon would commit, but so far, George North, a 4-star tight end, is coming to Cascade Valley. And with Tim Tyndall leaving as a senior this season, this is a big get. Additionally, we're also going to have Jeff Brink, a left tackle, 3-star. Listen, for Cascade Valley, that's great. We don't need a 5-star yet. 3 stars and 4 stars are more than enough. Now, that win was big for a lot of reasons, especially on the recruiting side, but we're getting close to being ranked with a ranked opponent coming up this week. But George North, if you didn't know anything about him, 87 speed, 89 acceleration, 84 catching as a 6'5" tight end. This dude is going to be a monster for us, and he's a gem, so we're probably imagining star dev or higher here, which would be great. Jeff Brink, we didn't scout him because we didn't have enough time. He's raw strength. He'll take more time to develop. He's kind of a piece for the future. Vildor is the guy we're trying to lock in. He has a visit coming this week as we're playing Northwestern. We also have one of the longest first and last name combos of all time, an athlete and a right tackle who we'll talk about. But we really need this man to commit, but Penn State is now putting the full court press on him. That'll be tough. Forrest Lemon, we feel like we'll probably get him in the next week or 2, with Tennessee not even offering him a scholarship, or Oklahoma. We feel like it's only a matter of time before he is coming to Cascade Valley, which is great. John Corker, who we were worried about Tennessee jumping us, actually had a massive jump, and we are a sliver away from landing him. So we should be converting him for sure next week. Ezekiel Kolomatangi, I don't know how to say his name. He's going to be a great guard, we have to imagine. But he's coming to visit this week as well. And down the board, we're feeling pretty good about most of our guys overall. We have some guys we got to put some points on and work through, but this class is shaping up to be much better than last year's. And while the recruiting news is trending in the right direction, what we're also happy about this trending in the right direction is Cascade Valley received votes to be in the top 25. Now, we're outside looking in right now. We're currently a little bit out. But a big win against number 25 Northwestern this week should get us ranked. Fingers crossed. Looking at the Heisman too, we're not anywhere close to this. We have nobody on our team that's deserving to be in the Heisman rank, but I do think it's interesting that San Jose State has Ben Rashid, a sophomore, 7 receptions, 179 yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns. They didn't lose against number 10 Miami this week by 10, but this dude is a guy that nobody probably expected to be up for the number 1 spot in the Heisman. The home crowd getting hyped as we are hosting number 25 Northwestern today. And this is a big opportunity for CVU to turn up, and the run game already looks better. Last game was a struggle to get Tugboat really going in the direction he wanted to, and that's what it looked like more in every play. 2nd and 12 after losing some yards there. We go to Fiercely, who was a dominant force last week, and he's picking right back up this week. Keeping the theme of the run game going. Tugboat picking up about 7. Getting a big week from Harmon this week. A lot of pressure on this man's shoulders. And he's forcing one into Dakota James, but his hands are so reliable, and he proves it there. I said in the last game, I'll say it again. Dakota James is one of those guys that you are going to miss when he leaves Cascade Valley. He just always seems to hang on to the rock. Harmon just gets blitzed on that when it doesn't see it. Northwestern mixing things up a lot here so far. We've been struggling with it. Harmon got some time, throws it back, and Tugboat nearly has it. I'll give Harmon some props there. That was a risky play that almost paid off. Now Chip Nix lining up for a big field goal opportunity. This one's going to be close. He doesn't have the strongest leg, but it looks strong enough there. 3-0 Cascade Valley. Crowd's got to be helping us a ton today, and they're out here just shaking everything. All the time in the world for their quarterback, and a great pass breakup. Terrion Nichols has been so good in coverage this year. A couple of blips, obviously, where he hasn't really worked out, but that man has been having pass breakup after pass breakup. And Ryden's trying to go to the other side of the field. He's got a chance here, and he's not going to have enough speed, but to the 31 he goes. Keeping it simple for Harmon. Trying to catch Northwestern. A little bit off. Tugboat goes for about 8 or 6. 2nd and 4 here. They're leaving our tight end wide open. You should know about Tim Tyndall. You should know about Tim Tyndall. Harmon continuing to sell these play actions. He's got Dakota James down the field. Dakota James making a move, getting a block from Fiercely, who is jogging the other way. And Cascade Valley's in the end zone. Northwestern down 10, got an opportunity to answer back here. Going to the passing game, and their QB goes down. Big sack. Pause if needed. On 2nd and 17, they opt to go for a run. This one, though, by Ali is going to get brought down. Everybody on their feet here at Mervin McMervin Stadium. Seco patrolling the middle. And he got rid of that one somehow. Northwestern punting yet again today. This defense has been so good for the Coyotes. Ryden had a chance on one earlier. Kind of mixes up a little bit here, but doesn't go too far. Mark Fiercely a little bit out on the island here. This is a dangerous proposition. If you're Northwestern, you got to make sure you don't give that guy too much room. And speaking of giving room, Tyndall says, I don't care. He's off to the races, and Cascade Valley's passing attack deep down the field. You don't see this very often here at CVU. Skipping ahead with 1 minute and 25 seconds left. Look, Northwestern has answered back. They've got some points on the board. They're no longer getting shut out. But Dakota James is just on one right now. Lamar Harmon has just made a history of getting hit play after play, whether it's his O-line or his fault. He gets hit there too. And that play ends up being the 3rd sack of the game for that player from Northwestern. That young man was ready today. Harmon's going to step up. A nice throw to Fiercely, and Fiercely's going to have that ball in a good spot. We're going to use our first timeout. A 13-point lead going in half would be fantastic, and we'd love it. But at the same time, we want more. That's not going to do it, though. 15 seconds on the clock. We take the easy one in front of us. Tally fumbles on the way down. We're going to challenge that one, but we don't love how that looked. Coach McMervin hasn't really thrown a ton of challenges. He tries to respect the referees out there. This might be inconclusive. We're going to try to get one more look. This is the worst possible angle. To us, his knee is down. We're hoping we can get that ball back. We'll see what the referees say here. Are we on offense or defense? We're back on offense. So we end up losing a second or so because they didn't give us a clock stoppage on that, which is unfortunate. But we're just trying to get this ball down here for a field goal to make it easy for Chip Nix. That is major. It's going to give us a 16-point lead, assuming this goes in. Great clock management all around by CVU. Chip Nix is going to line up. This one should be good. It is. This man has been on a tear the last 2 games. We'll take more of that. A little over 6 minutes left here in the second half, and Northwestern, they got a chance. But our way our defense is playing, I don't know if they're going to score right now. This crowd in Akron, Ohio has been so loud today. It's made such a big change. What just happened? Cameron Rose getting mossed there. We're not quite sure why he didn't jump. That man is known for big hits. Maybe not known for his secondary play. On 2nd and 11, they go with a halfback screen. We got guys there. Missed a tackle, but Hemphill brings them down. Northwestern dealing with the crowd noise. They've been struggling a little bit with that. The tight end was open, but it doesn't matter as we bring them down. Cam Ali having himself a season right now. Great play. He's been injured some. We finally got him back healthy. And it's been good to have him back out there in defense. They are going to drill the field goal, but that is so much better than allowing them to get into the end zone again. The Coyotes moving past the 50, but we just cannot get that run game established. Third quarter, got about 2 minutes left. Wide open across the middle is Tendo, a little bit behind him, but still a great catch and reception. 1st and 10, Tugboat just struggling with his vision too. We talked about the Wildcat last week, only really saw it once. We're seeing if we can see anything better here and maybe a yard. Harmon trying to keep this drive alive for the Coyotes. He's got Fiercely on a beautiful comeback route and Fiercely hauls that one in. 340 through the air is definitely a day. Harmon could hit 400 before it's all said and done, depending on how Northwestern plays the rest of today. But we know the ground game just might be cooked. Northwestern's defense is trying to stop this because if we get a touchdown here, their probability of winning is a huge shot. And Tugboat maybe doesn't get in there on the ground off the handoff, but through the air, he's going to find the end zone for sure. For the score the way that it is, Coach McMervin opts to go for 2 here. There is a penalty on the play. We're going to imagine that's coming to our side. And yeah, we don't know why you're doing the LeBron celebration. You are in Akron, Ohio, but you are not the Kings, sir. You're running laps at practice for holding. The rest of the fourth quarter is a lot of Cascade Valley and very little of Northwestern. A 43-17 victory. We had recruits coming to town. We showed up. We had a top 25 team in town. They didn't show up at all. You love to see it. Player of the game is Lamar Harmon, 5 touchdowns, 400 yards, and a 75% completion rate. A top 3, maybe 2 game in his entire career. That's the guy we were hoping for when we brought him in. Recapping, Harmon, again, has a fantastic day out there overall. We are pleasantly surprised, and we would love to see more of that. On the ground, we don't love what happened for Tugboat today, but just nothing on the run game is really working for us. But in the air, Tyndall over 100, James over 100, both of those guys getting 5 grabs over 100 yards and a touchdown. Tugboat gets in the end zone twice through the ground, but again, much more successful there. And Fiercely almost has 100 as well. We were very top heavy on the passing game, but still, a game like this, we take every single time. And defensively, Mike Hemphill is going to lead us in tackles. 6 of those, 2 for a loss. We see from a sack perspective, Cam Ali, who's been injured a little bit this season, comes back, 3 sacks today. We get 1 sack from Cordavius Royer, who spelled out Mario Ortiz for a little bit. No interceptions, which we hate to obviously see. If our secondary can play better, we'd be even more lights out, but a top 25 victory we'll always be happy about. And the good news keeps on coming. John Corker is going to be attending Cascade Valley next year. The 4-star wide receiver is coming to CVU. And joining him, Ezekiel Koloamatangi. I think we're saying that right. And joining him, Quincy, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Now, before we get set to travel to our game against Michigan this week, we feel good. We have 5 recruits coming in, 4 of those being 3 stars, 1 of those being a 4-star. Vildor is now in a really good spot. Now, before we jump into our game against Michigan, we do have 5 committed players, 2 of those being a 4-star, 3 remaining being 3 stars. We feel really good about where we ultimately are. Vildor is in a pretty good spot. He actually jumped pretty high considering what he had for his visit, and I feel like we're in a good enough spot if we can commit him this week. Penn State will have a visit week 9, which means that we probably get cooked. So we have to get this man to lock in now. So we did do a little bit of magic here. We said, you know what, can we try to sway you? And Standard Bearer ended up working. Gamer's what he had. That pro potential was terrible. So we're going to go ahead and remove both of those. Removing Gamer as well. And we're going to go to Hard Sell. We're going to go to Standard Bearer, which is now give him an A-, C+, and a C for the attributes that we ultimately have. That hopefully puts us in a good enough spot to land him in week 8. So that we can have this man on our team too. The big one though was Forrest Lemon. He still is not committed, but it looks like he should be committing in this week. Even if we win or lose against Michigan, he should be locked in. But it all comes down to this. Cascade Valley versus Michigan, the rivalry game. We have got our work cut out for us because we're a 75 overall. They are a 92. They happen to be 4-3, so bad coaching, players that cheat. You never know what could happen. We're playing at Michigan with some players that are shaky. We need Lamar Harmon to play like he did last week. And if he does, we can win. If he doesn't, we'll be unranked. Because we're number 25 now. Probably not for long. And here we are, descending on Michigan Stadium. Their players are on a substance. I've never seen eyes that wide. What have they given them? I'm scared. Last meeting. you know, Cascade Valley lost. And Michigan has the upper hand. We can tie the series with the win here. The 10 toughest players to play in the entire nation. Lamar Harmon is already on a cold streak. Half our players are on a cold streak now. I mean, everybody, all of our skill position players are kind of cooked at the moment. Tugboat, nowhere to go. Guys seem a little nervous. We had the running back open. We just saw him too late because we didn't know what his icon was. Bryce Underwood had 2 interceptions in his performance last week, and they start off with a little pitch out to the edge. And as you can tell, the speed of CVU ain't like the speed of Michigan. Bryce immediately throws a strike. This team has worked so hard to be ranked this season, and it might all just be gone with the way this game is going because Michigan, they've already scored. Help! Coach McMervin's really got to go in his bag for play calling this week because this Michigan team is a little different. But so is Tugboat. Tugboat Jackson says we don't care about Michigan. 92 overall, and they're overrated as Tugboat goes to the house with more yards in that play than he had all of last week. The offense pulled off a crazy drive on the last one. And, well, they just gave it right back to Michigan after Michigan went kind of 3 and out. We ate everything. Michigan feeling great about what just happened there. Their wide receivers are cutting with unbelievable force. We were in such good spots. And then Michigan said, watch this. Another great run by 33, running over people this time. Cam Ali in on the tackle on the last part. We're seeing what Michigan has here. We're playing short. We know that we can force Bryce Underwood into some turnovers. We just got to be smart out here. Or he dices up our defense in that zone. Michigan's back on top. Lamar Harmon still has not completed a pass to his own team, so we're going to try to make it a little bit easier here for him and let him just dump one off. His Tugboat doesn't get the blocking he wants, but still gets 5. We're at that stage of the game early on where it's just kind of like give the ball to Tugboat and just pray that he is blocking. 3rd down, 1 yard to go. We get the ball to Neighbors, and he's out. Michigan pressing Dakota James. It's definitely a choice. They have the talent to really hang with him. We're going to get it right back to Tugboat, who's about a yard short. 2nd and inches. Tim Tyndall has that one for a 1st down. Oh, there's an injury on our side. It's to our offensive line. That's not good. Kramer's hurt. To be fair, we wanted to kind of cut his scholarship the previous week, but it is what it is. Tugboat up the middle, maybe 2. And Kramer says elbow bursitis. We're bringing in Eric Paulding. Our offensive line is not super deep this year, so that's scary for us. Outside of that big rush that Tugboat had for 75, he's got about 8 or 9 yards the rest of his carries, so they've been shutting him down. Harmon's still absolutely cooked at this point. Doesn't really know what play he's running. Seems very confused. We're worried about him. Chip Nix is coming in to kick a ball. Oh, no. Everyone's scholarship is gone. Bryce Underwood is got his Heisman tier for the dot ability, which means he is going to carve up this defense. Holding. Embarrassment. Oh, no. Not like this. We're picking up here, 3rd and inches. Tugboat. Let's go. We are not out of this game. We are absolutely within striking distance. Okay, we could win this game. What was that throw? Lamar Harmon's done. Coach McMervin has pulled Lamar Harmon. The senior had a good chance to get the ball down the field fiercely and just threw a lame duck 20 yards short. We've seen enough. Julian Duggars had some chances, has looked solid, but has had some turnovers as well. He's getting his chance today as Tugboat's going to go through a rusher and just annihilate him. Fiercely's getting his route adjusted. It seems like he understands what's going on. Duggar also has his composure, mind you. We don't blame him. He got hit. Michigan seems a little locked in. This is going for it on 4th down territory. Duggar is trying to communicate with this guy, but he's struggling. Everybody's struggling here. No, he stopped his route. No. Michigan continues their insane drive down the field. 3 tight ends on the field. They're feeling pretty good. Run up the middle, already a broken tackle. He gets about 2. Underwood hands it right off again. Luckily, he has the worst running back vision. 3rd and goal. Why did 2 of our guys leave? 2 of our guys went away from what?
This game is broken.
Rather than play this game out with the way the CPU was just taking defenders away from us and making them run in opposite directions when nothing was happening, we decided to just move on. Michigan is going to win this game in embarrassing fashion, and Cascade Valley's reign of being ranked lasted 1 week this season. Recapping the stats, you can see there's not a lot of love here from the passing perspective. 28% for Duggar, 44% from Harmon. We had no shot to win this game. On the ground, Tugboat somehow went for 148 with 2 touchdowns. Duggar ran for 138 and 1 touchdown. We'll thank that to the CPU logic from simming, because Lord knows it wasn't happening when we controlled him. And then Dakota James goes for 71, leading us with 1 touchdown. But again, every single place you look, this was an abysmal effort by Cascade Valley. The CPU took over, and if the college football devs can make a better game for college football 27, shut it down. Don't make another one. Be safe, be smart, tell somebody you love them. Catch you guys on the next one.